Greetings, one and all. It's your brother King Simon. Welcome to another numerovational experience. Of course, we're live in the new mathematical universe as usual. Today's topic is "You are what you ate." Keeping a healthy state on a numerovational perspective, and we're going to be coming out of my book. This particular book, Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important, a basic health guide for children and adults, and how to use your Earth Day or birthday to help the family. This is going, if you haven't gotten this book, believe me, it is not just for children, but it's for adults also. And I also show you in the book how to find your name in both systems of numerology, how to find your name, how to break down your name, and how to recognize the different numbers that are connected to. And also in the book, each from 0 all the way to 31 is accounted for. And if you look at the amount of numbers in your name or what it equates to, that is the possible ailment that you could attract to you also if you don't maintain discipline with your health. So we're going to get into it today. Let me make sure that this is well. Let me scroll this on the bottom. I'm going to scroll some stuff on the bottom. Remember, PayPal and Cash App is activated, so feel free to join the machine by helping the machine. All right, because this is what we do as one of our streams of income. So PayPal and Cash App. PayPal is definitely for the people outside of the United States and those inside of the United States, but Cash App is directly for people in the United States. And tonight, we're going to be on a private link with Baba Phil Valentine. So those who want to be a part of that, let me copy it and put the link, the private link. You could either go through Patreon or you can go through. You must go on the private link for the Baba Phil Valentine event if you come in. It's free, but it will be on Patreon and Rumble. Rumble, it will be uploaded because I don't have enough people on Rumble right now. But I'm going to put the private YouTube link for Dr. Valentine tonight at 7:07 p.m. I'm going to put it in the chat. Hold on one second. Of course, tonight, this is the event. This is the program for tonight. So I want to make sure everybody has it as I put it in the chat. Good day. Here we go. We're going to put it in the chat. This is for Dr. Valentine's private interview. Dr. Valentine's private interview with me tonight. Dr. Valentine's private interview, It's a private link, so interview. So I'm going to put that in the chat right now, and then I'm going to pin it on the top so people can go straight to it, subscribe, and, there is, I'm so there for free. It's a shame that y'all you think like that, but it's all right. It's not. hopefully you can support Baba Valentine and support people. You know, I know people like all the free stuff and all that kind of stuff, but it might just go straight to, because of YouTube's funniness, I might just go straight to Patreon, because they took down a few Phil Valentine videos. So I might just go straight to Patreon, because that's $5.55 subscription, and it's you know, Phil Valentine has a lot to say in regards to the origin of the deep state. So even if it goes straight to Patreon, you can support. It's between $5.55 and $10 to do the Patreon page. So I'm going to put the Patreon page up on there also, just in case we cannot do it on Patreon. That's the YouTube page. But just in case we can't do it on Patreon, it is what it is. I mean, just in case we can't do it on YouTube, because they're checking out people's channels like crazy. They're erasing a lot of Dr. Valentine's content like crazy. So I'm going to paste the Patreon page up there. So anything that Dr. Valentine is doing nowadays, they're monitoring. And he's good. You know, he's upset about that, but it comes with the territory, family. When it comes to Baba Phil Valentine, it comes with the territory. So I'm gonna put the Patreon page up there with so if you could subscribe and pay your monthly fee of $5.55 or $10, depending on what you want to do. That's what we're gonna put up there. That's what we're gonna put up on the. So the YouTube page might be down. That might be private, because Dr. Valentine has something to say and I don't want it taken down. Dr. Valentine has something to say and I don't want it taken down. And that is the Patreon page that you could all subscribe to. You know, sometimes this information, due to the war that we're in, it's not always free. Due to the war that we're in, it's not always free. And y'all gotta respect that. It's a war going on, a mental, physical, and spiritual war, and it's not always going to be free. You know, a lot of people, y'all want the freebies, y'all love the freebies, and I got that. You know, the only thing that's been free is air, and even the air is messing up our very soul. I'm just saying, even the air is starting to mess us up. You know, so we have to be very mindful of what we always want for free, and respect what the elders are doing from their perspective. And I'm also broadcasting on the Numerovation Nation. I'm broadcasting on King Simon. I'm broadcasting on Instagram also. So I'm going to pin the Patreon page, because we might just got to go straight to Patreon and go past YouTube. Yeah, we might got to go straight to Patreon and surpass YouTube. So get prepared for that. So I pinned the Patreon page for a reason, so you can go directly to it. Let me make sure that it works. Make sure it takes you straight there. Yes, it takes you straight there. And you can join the Patreon for free also. But if you want to join my page, there's a tier system. So $5 to join, or $10, $5.55 to join. So yeah, it's up there. And yeah, it is up there. So just want to make sure everybody recognizes that. So today we're going to get into something real interesting about people's health, because we're going into a 44 a 44-8 personal cycle. Because we're going into a 44-8 personal cycle, universal cycle, 8 is one of the numbers of health issues. And when you go into this book, when you go to the number 8 itself in this book, it tells you about the number 8 and what are some of the possible ailments of the number 8. And one thing, because 8 is one of the mental numbers, 8 is one of the mental numbers also in my book, Numerovational for Mental Stability. When it deals with children or it deals with adults, people connected to the number 8 or the 17th or the 26th of the month, but I touch also the 17th and the 26th separately in this book, Numerovational for Mental Stability. So if you want to get the book yourself and do any comparative research or whatever, hey, my books are up for scrutiny also, especially when it comes to these numbers, patterns, and cycles and sequences. And just remember that everyone has a certain amount of numbers with them, not just because you're born on the 8th or born on the 17th or the 26th, that the other numbers connected to your month, the day, and the year, and your name is not relevant. It is very relevant. And some of y'all don't recognize that those type of things are very relevant when it comes to your health. So this was a serious book, yes, directed to children. This was a serious book directed to children, but it is also directed to adults because all of us was children at one time. And you got to remember what the topic is. You are what you ate, keeping a healthy state from a numerovational perspective, actually. And I'm going to put that in there from a numerovational perspective, From a numerovational perspective, you are what you ate. Because most of us, the ailments that are developed over time is because of something that we've been habitually eating or consuming over time to the point that we get to this point that we have to, fight for our health. Are the people on Instagram hearing me? If you're hearing me, Instagram, put the number 1 in the chat. If you're hearing me, put the number 1 in the chat. If you're hearing me, Instagram. People on Facebook, people on YouTube, if you're hearing me, put the number 1 in the chat. On Instagram, if you're hearing me, put the number 1 in the chat. All right. Okay. Hey, Escape Healing. What's up, girl? Long time. I've been meaning to call you too. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about my dear Aisha. Yes, Massage Renee is hearing me. Jazzy is hearing me. Natural Nature Love is hearing me. That's okay. Good. And people on YouTube is also. So I'm broadcasting on YouTube. I'm broadcasting on Instagram through this apparatus, through StreamYard, this new StreamYard app that I'm using. So y'all get to see everything instead of seeing part of what's going on. All right. So think about this. If you're going to do things from a holistic perspective, and I like to go to the board. Y'all know me and this darn board. I love this board. And I'm not talking about HOLIS, holistic. I'm not talking about that word. I'm talking about with a W, WHOLISTIK or C. Sometimes it's K, sometimes it's C. If you go into the dictionary, you'll see holistic spelled like this, or you see it with a K. So I'm not talking about, this is more from a health perspective, which the book is dealing with. But I'm dealing also with the whole perspective. Dealing with the whole perspective. Seeing things from a holistic perspective is very important. If you're going to recognize it. So if someone is born, let's say, Let me push this up a little bit. If someone is born, let's say, okay, for myself, if I'm born on 2/1/1967, if my alignment number adds up to a 3, and the month that I'm born is add up to a number 2, that means in the early parts of my life, I had to pay attention to my digestive system, because the number 2 rules the digestive system. It rules also being careful of what you eat and what you intake in your body so it don't disrupt your digestion. Also, I had to drink a lot of water as a child, because I will become constipated, because 2 is a number that also people connected to that number 2 can also be constipated over their time if they're not drinking enough water and they're eating enough foods that can be water soluble, that has water in it. But because my alignment number or my pinnacle number adds up to a number 3, then I have to be careful of my nerves. That is a nerve number. So if this is a stomach number or a digestive system number, and that's a nerve number, there's a multiplicity of numbers you have to look at. I hope I'm making sense to the people in the chat. If I'm making sense to you, because we're looking at things from a holistic, put the number 1 in the chat if I'm making sense. So that you don't just look at the personal number, which deals with circulation. Now, the number 1 deals with circulation, heart palpitation, and eyes, and all that, and blood pressure. But the number 3 also deals with low blood pressure, and the number 1 deals with high blood pressure. So as a numerologist or a numerovator, I have to look at everything, not just the one number, where some people might focus and say, okay, you're born on the 1st, the 19th, or the 10th, or the 28th of the month, so you have circulation issues and all that kind. But if I see 1 and 9, if I see 2 and 8, then I'm looking for the health issues that can be attracted to those numbers also. That's how it gets down with this with numerology and the possible health ailments that you can attract to your children. And because all of us are children of the Most High or the creative force, we got to pay attention to it also. I hope I'm making sense, because I don't like to come on here not making sense. What book is this? This is this is from my book. This book is from my book. Numbers Are Simple. Children's Health is Important, and it's in this book. It's in my first book a little bit, but I really concentrate on a lot of stuff, keeping it simple. I like to keep things simple. But this is from this book. And if you want to get this book, you go to Amazon, or you go to my Linktree. You go to my Linktree right here on the bottom of the page right here. So y'all can see there's my Linktree, or you can go through Amazon. Numbers Are Simple. Children's Health is Important. The only 2 books that has this in my collection that deals with health, the Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated has it, but I was real focused in the children's book, in the children's health book, showing you how there is also you could add on to other health ailments, where you might find people suffering from multiple health ailments and don't even know why they're suffering it. Remember, the Numerovation for mental stability is dealing with directly to mental health. I'm not a mental health therapist, and I tell people I'm not all of that, but I'm very good at what I do as far as what can be attracted to the numbers if you pay attention to the patterns, cycles, and sequences of your numbers. Remember, we're broadcasting on YouTube also, family. We're broadcasting on YouTube also. And let me make sure that, let me get back to my page where y'all can see me. So it's very important that you stay alert. Bronchial. Interesting enough, you said bronchial for me. The number 6, you're born in the 6th month. 6 rules congestion and bronchial asthma. Very interesting. 8-scape healing is born in the 6th month. And that 6 deals with that bronchial. Matter of fact, it says it right here in my book. It says it right here in my book: bronchitis, asthma, kidney, urinator, blood circulation, lungs, congestion. It's right in my book. It's right in my book. So I don't care if you're born in months. I don't care if you're dealing with the day. I don't care if you're dealing with the year. Every number that shows up, even in your name, has a significance that has the possibility of pulling a health ailment to you if the mother, father, or you as you're growing up into an adult don't recognize it. Every number on there. So that's why I'm saying look at things from a holistic perspective and then go to the healthy holistic. Recognize what you need to do from a holistic or allopathic or homeopathic. I'm not telling you not to do none of the stuff. I'm not even telling you not to do regular allopathic medicine. But because everything has to be looked at from a holistic perspective. Even Dr. Laila Africa was one of those people that taught me to look at things from a holistic perspective. But he says, you can't tell somebody to just jump off of something without weaning them off of it. So if you're under any kind of medication, the smart thing to do is to help them wean off of it and then find the holistic herbs that can help them, that can substitute for the medicine that they're constantly taking. Or you have to use both of them until you start using less of the medicine that might have a lot of chemicals in it and start using more of the herbs. And then you start seeing the balance and bringing your body back to balance. Dr. Africa taught that in his books, African Holistic Health. That's why he was talking about either person that, you know, where Dr. Sebi was hardcore and tell you to stop this. But it's very hard for many of us to stop because some of us was raised eating a lot of sugar and a lot of this because of whatever trauma we had, because we trauma bond with food a lot. So it's important to understand both of those great men and the Queen of Fours or the other people that are practicing health and learn how to use it from a holistic perspective. All of them were important. All of your holistic practitioners today are important, but making sure that you get the whole picture, that word whole again, making sure you get the whole picture and not just half the picture is very important. So in numerology or the study of numbers, even Brother Lloyd Strayhorn taught about health in his book also. And Lloyd is the one that stimulated me to even want to write this on a certain perspective, because you know that Lloyd goes from 1 to 9 and then covers all the birthdays, where so 1 has 10, 19, 18, 19, and 28. 2 may have the 11 or 20, 20th or the 29th of the month. But I cover them each compound number, which are the doubling numbers. If I see 29, then I'm also looking for health issues that's connected to the 2 and the 9. If I see 28, then I'm looking at the health issues connected to the 2 and the number 8. If I see you born on the 31st, then I'm looking at the health issues that's connected to 2, the 3, and the 1, and the 4. And because 28 equals 10, I'm looking at the 10, the 1, and the 0, because also I got it in this book about the 0. Lloyd don't put in the 0 because the 0 deals with, if a 0 follows any of your numbers, that deals with the extremities of it. So if you're born on the 30th or you're born on the 20th or you're born on the 10th, the 0 adds extreme levels of what can possibly happen to your health if you're not monitoring it. That's how I get down, because you got to look at it from a holistic perspective. That 0. Although the leading one represents circulation, 2 represents the digestive system, 3 represents the nerves, 0 adds infinite potential, it adds extremities to it. Anytime a 0 follows the number, and the number 0 is definitely in my book. I had to put the number 0 in my book, no doubt about it, because people are born with. I had to put the number 0 in my book. And what does it represent? And what do I say in the book about 0? I said in my book, zero requires special explanation. Zero is everything but nothing at the same time. The zero is infinite and all numbers came out of it. It is the limitless symbol, and those who possess it have great potential and possibility if they remain focused and if they have people around them as a higher and positive guidance. Those born on the 10th, the 20th, and the 30th of any month seem to vary from one extreme to the next. They can go through many cycles of life that can lead them into a constructive or destructive way of life. Those connected to the zero must be guided from young to the highest and wisest vibration of their leading numbers, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. And then I tell you to please refer to my Numbers Are Simple book. People Are Complicated, because I also explain the breakdown of zero in that book also. So zero, when it comes in, shows up in anybody's chart, and it does show up a lot of times in people's names. It may show up in birthdays, the 10, the 20, the 30. It may show up in your name, where your full name could add up to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So I look at all of that. I don't just break it down to the number 9 and think that's it, especially when it comes to people's health. My glass gonna get knocked off of me because I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about it. I'm so excited. So once you understand the importance, of it, you got to recognize all of the different levels of numbers that are connected. Like somebody said, they're born in December. It's not just December. It's December. It's the month, the day, and the year. It's your name could have numbers that could be attracting lung issues to you also. It's the name that could be attracting lung issues to the, somebody said, I love you. Oh, thank you very much. So knowledgeable. We are all knowledgeable. We all have it in us. All we have to do is tap in. These books that we have, a book does not make you knowledge. A book does not make you smart. A book allows you to trigger the records that's already in you. And it's up to you to keep on studying and applying. And Dr. Africa said that a book doesn't make you something. He's written many books, but it doesn't make you a wise person just because you read the book, because it comes with knowledge. That's what it is. Then it's wisdom. It's how you apply the knowledge. And did you understand it after that? That's what knowledge, wisdom, and understanding 1, 2, and 3 is all about. So my book, if you're not going to indulge it or do the applicable research behind it as you start recognizing your own health issues and all that kind of stuff. And I'm only doing this only because we're going into an 8-year cycle. An 8-year cycle, if you look directly into the number 8, in my book, you got to be very careful of headaches. And headaches can be caused by those things in your ears, the ringing in your ears, or certain things that could be happening. Headaches, blood disorder, rheumatism, liver, gout, depression. Again, depression also. Bowels, intestinal tract, excretory issues, paralysis, ear problems. So people are starting to hear a lot of the earring and the ringing in their ears, and some people are going crazy over that. Asthma, insanity. In my book, so we're going into an 8-year cycle, and 8 is one of my mental health numbers, and it can cause insanity if you don't find discipline in going into an 8-year cycle. Excuse me. Dealing with the word holistic, going into an 8-year cycle. And there may be concerns of gastrointestinal issues, constipation, blood pressure, heart troubles, knees, teeth, bones can be problematic, and numbers of the limbs. Numbers connected to the limbs also. I'm talking about it. But this is just a basic guide to open you up to recognize what are the possible health ailments you could attract through your numbers, and then be able to deal with it so you can be more proactive than reactive. Because my job is to help you to be proactive and not reactive. That is my job as a numerovator, to help you be proactive and not reactive. And please share this live. Instagram, please share it with friends that might, because we're going into a quote unquote 8-year cycle. And as y'all know me, although it breaks down to 224 equals the 8, y'all know me already. I look at things from a holistic perspective. So when I add 20 plus 24, we're also going into a 44-year cycle. So 2024 is also a number 44, which equates to a number 8, and 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. So I'm also looking at all aspects. I'm looking at these numbers too, because they represent what are the possible health ailments you could attract in the month, in the year of 2024 also. People don't get it. And then 44, come on now. 44 is a mental health. The 4 is a number, mental health number. So it's also the number of rededicating and reconstructing your mind and your thoughts. Because the 4 is a building number. So when you got the double 4 before it adds up to the 8, you're doing a masterful, dedicated building of your inner self as well as your outer self so you can maximize it. That's the importance of using or recognizing that 2024 equals 44. And then it adds up to the number 8, where some numerologists will just go straight to the 8. The old way of adding numerology is month on top of day on top of year. The newer way of adding across was more recent. This is a more older way. So that's why my spirit said 2024. Or when you did 2023, I did that last year also. 3. I also looked at the 43 before I reached the 7 and what the 43 meant. I taught it in one of my live also, because I look at all of them. 2020. I looked at 40 because it brought extremities. In that year, it was extreme health issues that came from a weird and unusual sense of it came from a weird and unusual place, which was Wuhan, China. And we know, if you studied or listened to myself or Lloyd Strayhorn, the number 4 is a malefic or a challenging number to China. According to what they said, that's where the so-called pandemic started, in Wuhan, China, and China does not like the number 4 at all. And that's when it started taking off. It started taking off at the end of 2019, going into 2020. And that's when it went up to higher levels. Man, I'm just showing you patterns, cycles, and sequences. And this book gave the basics. Numbers are simple. Children's health is important. So make sure, yes, number 4 is similar to death. Not death, death in China, in the Chinese language. That's why they are afraid of it. Lloyd taught about it. Lloyd taught about his travels to China and what had happened in China with the number 4 also. He breaks down that. Number 8, now, 8 is one of China's favorite numbers. So look out for China's rise, especially with monetary and money and all kinds of stuff. China's rise is going to be strong in the number 8 year because they love the number 8, and they look at 8 as one of their financial numbers, which it is. In numerology, it's a financial number, higher levels of understanding, higher levels of financial gain, energetic currency, all of that. So we got to look out. We got to see that in China. But you see, What I wanted to say. Again, going back to the health, because I want everybody to maintain their mental health, especially because in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, it's important that we recognize our mental health. I'm talking to everybody on Instagram, everybody on YouTube. It's important going into a 44-8 cycle. We gotta protect our mental health and don't let these apparatuses, which is ruled by the number 4. Note, media begins with an M. Movies begin with an M. What else? Deals with an M. Anytime you see that M leading a word, M in the Pythagorean and the Chaldean system is a number 4. Let me show y'all something. M in the Pythagorean and the Chaldean system equals a number 4. Let me show y'all. This was from one of my last workshops that I did, my webinar. So if you want to purchase my webinar where I taught this slideshow, it was a powerful. Those who want to take my class, my course, here it is, just in case. If you want to take my course and learn it for yourself, applied numerovation, here it is. But this particular thing, this slide that I'm about to show you, is from this course. It's only $55. You get a 3-hour webinar. You can apply Numerovation. Once you send it to my PayPal and my Cash App, make sure you put your email in the description or the comment section of PayPal or Cash App, and then I will send you the link directly. And it's yours to study and research on your own. But look at the Pythagorean system and look at the Chaldean system, the Chaldean being the oldest of the system. The consistency of the letter M, the letter D, the two consistent numbers, the one consistent number with the letter D and M is the number 4. The word media starts with an M. The word movie starts with an M, and the word music starts with an M. So if that's the lead number of those words, and it's one of my mental health numbers, so we always, when we're listening to music, when we're listening to watching movies, and we're paying attention to media, we have to protect our mind and make sure our mind is balanced when listening to those 3 components of society: media, movies, and music. So they're throwing out a movie called Leave the World Behind. It's getting into the psyche of people. Now everybody is thinking about prepping and preparing and all that, when myself and Eitan Edwards has been teaching that disaster preparedness for over 25 years. Eitan himself, matter of fact, on my Patreon page, I uploaded a disaster preparedness and awareness throwback video, Keep It Simple Society, the KISS Society, dealing with the IPN and all the things that we used to do, teaching from this book right here. Teaching from this book right here. Preparedness Now. Written by our brother, Eitan Edwards. Look like Mr. Clean on that one. But Eitan Edwards. And this is an old book. I mean, a lot of the stuff in here is good. But Eitan will say, because of his new book coming out, a lot of the stuff in here is kind of obsolete. But the equipment that you can get and all that, the solar panels and the solar generators and all that he teaches in this book, everything as far as the equipment is, but as far as preparedness, this is a whole new ball game going on. But I want people to prepare their mind also, keep their mind at a higher level. Another book that I used to teach from, let me see if I got it here. Another book that I used to teach from. Another book I used to teach from back in the day. I've been doing this I was a disaster preparedness instructor for like 20 years with Eitan Edwards. Eitan is the guru, no doubt. But here's another book, What to Do When Shit Hits the Fan by Dave Black. You get these 2 books oh, you're going to get some stuff. You're going to get some information. Get the brother's book and get this guy's book too. I think this guy is a European, but get both of their books. If you can get it on Amazon right now, What to Do When Shit Hits the Fan and Preparedness Now. Two good books I will definitely suggest to y'all, and any other books that y'all might find, solar paneling, all that, but they talk about solar paneling in their book. But I'm just stating something because we're coming out of a 7-year cycle, and 7 is one of my mental health numbers, where in 2023, they put out a movie that deals with mental health, that deals with a mentality that we have to be aware of when things go down. And if people around you are not mentally ready, then they can be very dangerous people. If people around you are not mentally ready, they can be very dangerous around you. Let me say that again. If people around you are not mentally ready, if there is any quote unquote disaster or whatever, I'm still going to maintain a jovial and happy attitude. I'm still going to do what I do as far as help guide people with their numbers. But I'm always also still getting, being alert, being aware, bring the balance, because I don't watch the news, but I do pay attention to the news. I don't watch the news, but I do pay attention to what news is being thrown out there. But then I'm also connected to a disaster preparedness and awareness community also for many years. So once I send an email or a call out to certain people, they get back to me immediately, and then I start getting whatever data I need to move forward and all that. And I got a lot of stuff in storage, a lot of stuff you're not going to ever find in my house. I'm not doing all of that. So people come to my house, they ain't going to find nothing but what I needed to survive for that particular time. But most of my stuff is in different storage areas, because that's what we're taught as disaster preparedness experts or instructors on how to store things on your way, either out of here or when you need to get to where you got to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's I still got stuff in certain parts of New York. I still got stuff in certain parts of, and then as a disaster preparedness instructor, we learn to adapt and improvise also. So I can carry one little bag, and that bag at least will help me to get the fresh water or siphon fresh water from where I need to get things from. You know what I'm saying? Because water is all over the place if you know how to find it. Water is all over, even dirty, murky water. I have one of those straws. I have three of them straws that I can drink clean water from dirty, murky water. I don't play with my equipment. So it's called a life straw. You can Google it, and they talk about it in the books that I showed you. You can Google that book. Those like the life straw is a very good straw, and it filters up to like 620 gallons, probably 620 gallons, depending on what filter you get. There's other filters that you can get. You can get filters for your house that can filtrate your whole house, all of that stuff. So yeah, I've taught that. And if you go to my Patreon page, this gives you a lot of information that I taught. That is the website, of course. I think that website is still up. Let me check if that website is still up. Ready for anything .org. Let me see if that website is still up, because that's Aton's website right there. Yes, the website is still up. Let me show it to y'all. Let me remove this. Let me show y'all the website. The website is still up. Y'all can go to the website readyforanything.org, and you can get a lot of pertinent information on that website. Let me show y'all the website before I close out. Let me show the website. Bang. There's the website, family. This is Aton Edwards' website. International Preparedness Network, Climate Crisis Protection, Self-Reliance, Preparedness, Sustainable Living, IA, which is Improvise and Adapt, the Science of Human Survival, Surfers, and Afro Prep. This is our website, Aton Edwards' website, the International Preparedness website. A lot of information is on here, family. Let me put the website in the chat. I'm going to put the website in the chat. First, let me put it here. That's the name of the website right there, readyforanything.org. I'm going to put it in the chat. Y'all can go to that website if you want to stay informed about what's going on. That is the website right there. If you want to stay informed about what's going on as far as disaster preparedness, straight talk, the different things that has happened. He has stuff on Flint and all that, Flint, Michigan. He has, you can contact, how to contact us is on there also. You know, his email, all of that is on there, Aton Edwards. How you can join us is on there also, how you could join us and understand the nuances of IPN and what to do. Knowing our symbols, our programs are also on there, the various programs that we've taught. IPN Fitness and Healthy Program, Extreme Event Training, all of that is on there. And Ready Up Now, that program is on there. Look at me, that was me back in the day. This was almost 10 years ago. That's me right there, teaching a disaster preparedness walk. That's me right there. So I didn't even know he had this up there. I didn't even check this website. I'm on there teaching. That's me right there in the front there. That's me right here. You see, Taufik was there. I know Blue Pill was also here. He walked with us. We had like a good 15 people did this walk along in New York City, how to get out of the city just in case of emergency. We did this walk years ago. Years ago, we did this walk. So that was the, oops, I think I took it down. That was the actual walk that we did back in the day. Let me get it back up because I took it down by mistake. So we did a disaster preparedness walk years ago throughout New York and showed people how to. I took down the whole website. Let me sorry. Let me go back to www.readyforanything.org. Let's get back to that page. We start that page. I just want to let people know that, I've been doing this for a while, and I say to myself more now because a lot of our people are reactive and they're not proactive. Even the so-called conscious community, they're reactive, they're not proactive. A lot of them are reactive and not proactive, and we've been presenting this stuff for years. So you got to get with good people, like-minded people that's willing to not depend on you, but also realize that this is a self-reliant program. Let me say that again. It's a self-reliant program. It is a self-reliant program. And once you realize that it's a self-reliant program, I'm sharing the live with Aton right now. So I just want Aton to know that we up here talking about him and we talking good about him. I'm sharing the IG live with Aton and Kendall right now because it's important that y'all know that whatever's being put out there, I'm not about the doom and gloom. One thing about me with Aton loves about me is that I always came with a more jovial attitude when it came to disaster preparedness. I came with the laughter. I came with the fun. I came with the simplicity. They called me Simple Simon in the disaster preparedness community. They called me Simple Simon in the disaster preparedness community. There I am walking. There's Aton with Katie Couric. I was there in the audience, helping out with Aton in the audience with Katie Couric. The life gear is very important equipment to get. That's when Aton used to be on Open Line. Those who know WBLS, WLIB. And these are some of the disaster preparedness programs that we had at the Comic-Con and all of that stuff. We did a lot. They did a lot of stuff. That's Aton's dear mother. May she rest in peace. Beautiful woman. Great mom. She's always been a great person, even when I spoke to her. So big up to Aton and his mom. She had passed on. How to Survive Zombie Apocalypse. That was at the Comic-Con with his son speaking, his young son, Davina. Big up to Davina all the time. Artist extraordinaire. Davina was with us. You know, so talking about the preppers and what we, so on this website, the readyforanything.org website, you can get a lot of information, family. So I want y'all to go to the website, readyforanything.org, and sign up, email Brother Aton, find out more information about what we're doing in that arena. Find out what we're doing in that arena. Teach others. Make sure that your children understand, because disaster preparedness and awareness is very funny when it comes to children. It's very funny when it comes to children, because you want children to be children. And we do in the organization, or in our preparedness program, we do educate the parents on how to keep some balance when it comes to children, keeping certain music around in their ears and certain games that they can play, because you're going to have to pack a lot of that stuff also. You're going to have toys just in case you have to move from one area, especially y'all in the major cities. If you got to move from one area to another, you got to train your children on how to be quiet while moving, while evacuating. What do you have to put in the air? You might have to have headphones and music playing, or make sure you have a CD player or cassette deck. You might have to have all of that so you can put it in their ear so they can be reminded of the peace of mind that you want to keep them in. It gets deeper. And I'm not going to get into it now. I'm really waiting for Aton to come out with his new book. And when Aton come out with his new book, then I will bring Aton on the platform. Then I will play Aton. See, but you know, JP, we've been teaching about disaster preparedness for years. I've been teaching about disaster. I just showed the two books. I've been teaching. Look how raggedy this book is. Hold on one second. This book is raggedy. I got it all marked up and all kinds of stuff. I've been teaching this book for years. This book came out. This book came out. Preparedness Now came out in 2006. So I've been teaching this book since 2006. Preparedness Now. A lot of people don't get it. I've been teaching this book, and I've had this book for years also, What to Do When Shit Hit the Fan. So these type of movies has been coming out. Movies like Deliverance back in the day with, I think, what was Burt Reynolds. Movies like I Am Legend with Will Smith, but they had an I Am Legend before Will Smith also. Movies like the one that Keanu Reeves played in, and certain movies, anything dealing with contaminant and all those. We've been teaching about this for a long time. We've been teaching about this. Big up to Aton Edwards. I got to big up Aton. Aton Edwards used to be married to Kim Coles, who is also into disaster awareness and disaster preparedness also. So Aton Edwards was a comedian also back in the day. They used to call him the bad guy. And he did Apollo and all that kind of stuff. We got videos of him back in the day, but he left that craziness. He left comedy alone because this is what he really loved to do. He was into disaster teaching and disaster preparedness. So all this new stuff, new movies about leave the earth behind, leave the world behind. I laugh at a lot of that shit. I really do. Because they're triggering you. They're triggering you, the ones that are not prepared, because y'all are reactive and not proactive. And that's what they work on. They work on our reaction and not our proactive mentality. So, okay, if the world goes that way and things start happening, what is the first thing you're going to do? What is the first thing most of us start doing, especially if they don't have the right mindset? They start to panic. Especially in the inner cities. The name of the book is called Preparedness Now. Preparedness Now. That's the website you can find. Readyforanything.org. That's the website you can find a lot of the information from this book, because the owner of that website is the one that wrote this book. Is a brother who's been doing it for over 30, going on 40 years. Aton Edwards, or Dr. Ben used to call him Aton Edwards. So go to the website, get the information, and get the book, Preparedness Now. It's on Amazon, I believe. Let me see if Preparedness Now is on Amazon. Preparedness Now. Preparedness Now by Aton Edwards. There it is. Okay, so there. The book is there. The book is on Amazon, family. You can go to Amazon. It's in Thrift Books. It's in Thrift Book for $7. I mean, hey, you got. Let me shut down. Stop sharing that. Let me show you where you can get the book. And it's a good book to study and add to your collection. And he got a lot of information, I'm telling you. There it is. Okay, so you can get it at Thrift Book for $7. You can get a Thrift Book for $4.90, depending on what. Go to Thrift Book for $4.90. eBay, some people are selling it for $33. Some people are selling it for $20. It's there. It's there. The book, Preparedness Now, is there. Go get the book. Go get the book yourself. It's right there. It's right there. And it's called Preparedness Now. That's the name of the book. It's called Preparedness Now. It didn't come up the way I wanted to come up. I thought it came up. It's called Preparedness Now. That's the name of the book right there. It's called Preparedness Now. Preparedness Now, an emergency survival guide. Expanded and revised edition. Try to get the expanded and revised edition. I got the expanded and revised edition. Try to get that edition. The ones that might be cheaper is the first one that he put out in 2006. But try to get the expanded edition. The brother is thorough. When I say the brother is thorough, the brother is thorough. He's thorough throughout the book. That's why I had to mark up the book. He's thorough. Even with the equipment towards the back of the book, the power flashlights, the water purifier. He gives you the numbers and the websites to everything in the book. Let me say that again. In the book, he gives the numbers and the website. He gives you the numbers and the website. Civilian Labs, Eagle Gear, Free Play, Product Wizard, Katahdin. He gives you all the solar power website. He gives you all of the numbers in the webs on every website in the back of the book, as he's thorough and breaking down. That's why they call him on MSNBC to break down certain things about disasters and all that. He's been on all these television shows. Brother Aton Edwards. Aton is probably in the live right now. Let me see if he's in the live right now. I don't know if he's there. Got both for $12. Good. That's right. Thank you, JP. Get the books, but don't just get them and put them in your library, JP. Study them. Go through them. Teach your children. If your children is in college, if your children is away in school, send them a book. Send them one of these books. Guide them. Show them that they can also be alert and keep alert while they're in college. He talks about in case of shootouts or, a case of college shootouts and all that kind of stuff, things that happen, what to do. Aton is thorough, but the next book that's about to come out is going to be even more thorough, and it's going to have like 1,000 pages. This brother is going to have 1,000 because it's directed to Black people. All right, I've been on here for an hour. Y'all seen I broke down. I was talking about my book earlier about holistic health and paying attention to your health going into this 8 year. But also paying attention to your mindset, because 20 plus 24 equals 44, and that deals with mental health. The number 8 is also a mental health number in my book also. Pay attention. And if you can, go to my Patreon page. I taught a whole class on it. Disaster preparedness and awareness. I taught a whole class. I will not be teaching a class until Aton advises me to teach a next class. I'm not teaching any more classes. I'm not teaching any more classes until Aton advises me to teach another class. I'm waiting for his new book to come out, and then I will teach from that book. That will be the next manual that we will be teaching from. I'm just letting you know that that's where my spirit is. And because it is a self-reliant program, a lot of people think we got to do something for that. We've been telling you this for over 20 years. We've been telling people this for over 20 years, 25 years to be exact. I started back in 1998, 1997. Aton's been doing it forever. Everybody knows him in the community for doing that, especially throughout New York. So this particular one on Patreon page, it's on Patreon. It's a private link on Patreon. Yes, it's $5.55 per month or $10 per month if you want to subscribe. But you'll get to watch all the private stuff that I've done. As a matter of fact, I'm going to upload a few other disaster preparedness programs that we did privately back in Brooklyn, back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000. When everybody thought, think about this. When everybody thought 2000 was going to be a whole computer shutdown, Aton and us was saying, no, it ain't going to go down like that. Aton, when Tony Brown and all of them was doing all that scare tactic about the computer and all of it dropping, Aton was the only one amongst our community, the melanated community, that was saying, no, it ain't going down like that. No, they already prepared for that transition for the year 2000 and all that kind of stuff. Aton was the only one saying that in our community, as far as melanated people, but there was other preppers that understood what that was also. And when I bring somebody like Aton on this channel, note that brother gets paid per hour at least $2,000 just to teach this. 2 preppers that call him, $2,000 an hour. Think about that. So when I bring him on with some significant information for your ass, you better take advantage of it. That's all I can say. That's all I'm going to say from that. That brother gets taken care of by other communities, but our community think it's all right to just, you should give it to us for free. But other communities pay him big. But y'all just don't, y'all be disrespecting our brothers, man, and our people. Y'all be disrespecting our brothers. That man get paid over $2,000+ to teach disaster awareness and disaster preparedness. And when he comes on a show like mine, that's just dolo. That's just friendship stuff. Because I've been supportive of what he done all of the time since he presented it to me. Since Jamila introduced me to him, a Muslim sister named Jamila introduced me to Aton. Although I know Aton from back in the day through when he was married to Kim, and through Kim's brother, Carlton. Because me and Kim Cole's brother used to go to church together, and we used to hang out and pop lock and all that kind of stuff when we was younger. Do the moonwalk and all that kind of stuff when we was younger. So I met Kim and Aton back in those days, but they stayed in the room a lot. So, it was hard to talk to them. They were doing their thing. So having fun. So I'm just saying, family, when somebody like Aton Edwards come on this show from readyforanything.org, we're going to be doing a media blitz. His new book is about to come out called Afro Prep. Yo, take full advantage of the information. All right. On that note, family, today is Sunday. Happy birthday to all those people, all those Sagittarius celebrating their birthday. Happy birthday to Mama Oracle's daughter. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday to Jade, the niece of Dr. Melanie Stevenson. Happy birthday to her. Today is their birthday. And again, family, tonight, if you want to see Baba Phil Valentine, The link to Patreon is pinned on the top. The link to Patreon is pinned on the top tonight. The link to Patreon is pinned on the top. And I'm going to see if I could broadcast it on one of my YouTube channels. And it's for free anyway. But if I can't do it, I'm just going to upload it to Rumble. I'm going to upload it to Rumble. That's the YouTube channel also. That's the YouTube page. That's the YouTube page also. That's the YouTube page. That's the private YouTube link also that's up there. I already put it in the chat before. I put all of them in the chat. I put the YouTube page on the chat, and I put the Patreon page on the chat also. So if y'all subscribe, y'all more than likely, because it's all privatized anyway. So tonight, Baba Phil Valentine is going to be on tonight speaking about the origin of the dark state and staying aware, staying alert. It's going to be very important. And, we're going to bring some solutions as well as recognizing some of the situations that's going on. But we're going to bring a lot of the solutions to the table. Dr. Phil Valentine, that's his information right there. His number, you can call him at that number, email him at that email, PayPal him at kemetert@gmail.com. Make sure y'all use friends and family if you're going to support him. But we're going to be on tonight at 7:07. We'll be on tonight with Baba Phil Valentine at 7:07. All right. Family, those who want to do a numerovation session with me, dealing with your health and all that kind of stuff, or what to recognize in the session, if you ask me, I will pinpoint what are some of the possible health ailments you got to look out for as you're getting older, your children, all that kind of stuff. Please get the books. Go to Amazon.com or go to Linktr.ee/King Simon, the Numerovator. That's Linktr.ee/King Simon, the Numerovator. And remember, coming up, we have Sister Kajara, Priestess Kajara Nephet, and I got Paul Campbell, the Jamaican most popular contemporary actor, especially from out of Jamaica. Y'all know Paul Campbell. If y'all seen Shutters and Dancehall Queen and certain movies back in the day, got him coming on December the 27th. Man, I had a private conversation with him, and brother, this brother is profound. Man was very elegant. So big up to him. Of course, Baba Phil Valentine's webinar is coming up on January 14th. Those who want to take my course on my webinar and learn, here it is. Make sure you support KerryAnnIngram.com, KerryAnnIngram.com. She is my co-host every Wednesday for the Healing Vibes. Also support my brother Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Hit him up at the 800 number that he has. Sign up for his classes also. Learn, earn, and return. Also, make sure you go to Patreon to learn. That's the KISS Society, Keep It Simple Society. If you want to advertise with me, I don't advertise too much music. Somebody try to advertise music, because when I advertise music, YouTube gives me a strike, or they always want to deal with copyrights. So if you have a product, books, or products like herbal products and stuff, or clothing that you're selling, that's what you can advertise on my platform, not music. If you want to buy any of my books, please go to Amazon or go to my Linktree. If you want to book a session, I have 10 or 9 slots left in December. 9 slots left in December if you want to book a session with me. All right? 9 slots left before we get into January. So you might as well do it before the new year comes in. Hey, let's do it. All right? Also, remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. Like Dr. B. Sirius says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. Like Dr. Blair used to say, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind and my spirit and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Family, thank you very much for coming on and being a part of the mathematical universe. Holistic. Use both of them. Understand both of them. We're going into a number 8-year cycle. It's not for you to be unbalanced, but it's for you to find equilibrium in an infinite mindset, because our energy is infinite. It's not finite. Our energy within us is infinite. And 8 deals with that similarity to the infinity symbol. So you have to have infinite amount of balance, infinite amount of inspiration, infinite amount of growth, infinite amount of understanding your health and what to do, looking at the 2, looking at the 0, looking at the 2, looking at the 4, looking at the 44, getting the holistic understanding of the numbers and how they can help guide you. All right. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be strong, be focused, and your brother is out of here. Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numerovator. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, numerovation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class